episode of the Dealer Show. I got my guy with me, DJ Stigmata, today. What's up, big dog? We're here. Now, a lot of you guys don't know, we've already shot this interview. Camera lost half of the interview. We had to scrap it and circle back around.
But it's a new day.
It's a new day. Trump's not in office anymore.
Things are different.
The pandemic slowed down. But last time we circled around, like, we were smack dab in the middle of the pandemic, so it was like a whole different time.
It was a whole different time. There was fucking some whole different shit happening, and I'm kind of glad that we're here now and we're gonna run it now and give the people what they want. They've been waiting.
They've been waiting. It's being a DJ. I'm sure it's like crazy because there's no clubs, no events, no nothing happening. So it's just starting to get back in the mix.
It really is, yo. And like some DJs, it was dope to see all the creativity. Everybody tried to hone in on their thing.
For sure.
A lot of people did Twitch. A lot of people did
like home
live streams.
Live streaming.
Got creative with it, but that's what I took from COVID, was being able to like step away from the live shit and step into recording like constantly. And it was dope. It was dope.
You were doing a bunch of live streaming
and some live streaming at the beginning, and then took a step back from that and just started working on like albums, and like fucking tracks, singles, and fucking cuts for people's shit. A lot of unreleased shit.
What were you working on as far as like with artists and different? You're scratching, right, on the records?
Adding the flavor, adding the garnish.
Real DJ. There's not too many.
Like trying to keep the culture alive. In the past 8 months, I've worked fucking with a bunch of local artists. Everybody from Benz Shelton to my new homie Block of Solo to fucking my homie from Denver, Young Wicked. The homie G-Mo Ski. Tons of fucking cuts for albums, and it's dope to see the artists are like still reaching out for that extra flavor, that real hip hop essence.
You don't hear a lot of scratching anymore.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Usually songs aren't produced with the DJ on there and cuts and everything else. So
exactly.
Keeping that alive is dope.
And it's been really cool to hone in on that and just kind of like, I miss the live energy from the live shows, but it's also been dope to just hone in and tighten up the cuts. And
let's talk about that. I went to I think the last live show that I went to that you had done was at the launch pad.
Okay.
And there was fucking kids going crazy everywhere, and like mosh pits.
That's right. Well, okay. Oh, that's right. That's the night we got in trouble. Fucking.
You got in trouble. Jet Stigmata. I'm sorry. Let me on the stage. Well, I guess he wasn't supposed to, and he was like, "Yo, throw out your shirts," and I start throwing out all kinds of dealer stuff. And
I got in trouble on a bunch of levels that night. I'll tell you what, I played all the wrong music, but it was all the right music the kids wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying?
That shit was jumping.
But that's just it's cool to see just the culture where it's at right now. Like of this underground shit and
the kids were going
the new
crazy
wave shit. The kids are out there representing for the hardcore fucking underground shit right now, and
they were going nuts.
That was actually one of the last shows before COVID hit.
Who was that artist?
And that was Ramirez.
Ramirez. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the G59 camp and all that shit.
Okay.
That was a good memory before.
You get to open up for a lot of people that come through here. Pretty much anybody that goes to like Sunshine, right?
Yeah, like I say, shout out to Zany. Fucking for the past 8 years maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
Because really from the beginning of my DJ career, they really helped put me in front of all the right stages, the right audiences, shit that was like up my alley, like shit that I was into, provided me a lane to be able to connect with the fan base that I feel like I was a part of growing up.
Yeah. And go do work. Yeah.
And go do work and get a name for myself. So
it's building.
Yeah.
It's growing. I mean, I see you on social media with, what's funny is, you and I have known each other a long time, so I know, what kind of music you've been into and the kind of artists, and now it's like you get to work with all those people.
Yeah, no, it's really, it's crazy. It's kind of like, without saying too much, it's like you get so close to it that it kind of trips you out.
For sure.
You know, like
how the fuck am I right here right now? This is crazy. Yeah,
it's been a dream come true, a blessing to be
able to scratching
these
people's records and just kind of being a fan of the music to actually
being a part
call
of the
Stigmata because we need this to happen. Or
for sure, bro. And that's what I was talking about with the homie the other day, is just how the underground is such a small community that, you know, you end up fucking bumping shoulders with
whoever.
People that you straight looked up to for fucking years, or bumped their shit when you were in high school and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And now they're just like just a part of the history, and you're part of it with it. You know,
you get to just make it happen with them. Who was the first major artist that you DJ'd for that you got to?
Oh man, all right. So when my homie Alex passed away, on the anniversary of his death date, exactly a year later, I got my first show.
Yeah.
Like playing out, DJing out, and I was at Launchpad, and that night I met Hunter.
Yeah.
And you know Hunter from back in the day, so it's like
Body Hunter.
Yeah. So back then he was like a horror rapper.
I remember.
And so we kind of connected through that shit.
I remember.
But fast forward a little bit after, like it was a little bit after I met him at that show, I became his DJ, and we got our first show at Sunshine, and that was the Yo Gotti concert. That was like the first.
Yo Gotti was the first artist that you DJ'd for.
The first big
major artist.
Like getting on the stage at Sunshine was like, that's the big stage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's how I looked at it. And
for sure.
That night was crazy because it was like our first night on the big stage. It was for an artist that, like, at that time I didn't really know who the fuck Yo Gotti was.
Yeah.
I know he was popping. I know he had that one joint fucking.
This was like 2010, maybe 11. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because you've been DJing a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like almost 13 years deep or some shit like that. But that night was crazy though. We did that show and we were loading up the gear afterwards in the old school in the 68. I used to pull up to all the shows in the 68.
Yeah, pulling all the DJ shit out the backseat.
Yeah, out like a truck. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, we were loading the shit up and a fucking big old gang fight popped off across the street.
Oh shit.
And fuckers just started shooting at each other, like right there.
I remember
and
when
bullets
that
were like literally flying fucking even across the street.
Yeah.
Security guards started tripping out, and a dude got shot, and he got killed right there in front of us. You know, like, and that shit was that was the first. You know, like it was a wild experience. Just think back, that was like the first big show, and it popped off like that. It was just like
that was wild. I remember that being on the news, and I like distinctly remember the news showing like chunks out of the brick.
It just popped off crazy over there, yeah.
Where the shots had gone and hit the wall, there was like chunks of stucco that had flown out of the wall in the news.
Albuquerque.
That was wild.
Albuquerque.
That was like Crips and Bloods.
Yeah, it was like some shit like that.
People don't think there's Crips and Bloods in Albuquerque.
But it was legit like that.
It was the Crips and Bloods gang war that was happening. Yeah, that was your first show.
That was the first show, and it fucking was like, all right, this is how it's gonna be.
You were like, yo, this is what I want to do all the time, for sure. This shit goes down.
But that speaks, like I said, like that's Albuquerque shit. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of crazy shit that goes on here, and,
absolutely,
and we're just. I look at just everybody around us as like the ones that are still here, still doing it, still grinding. Like as a part of a huge success story, because not all of us were blessed to be able to make it to today. You know what I'm saying?
No, there's a lot of people that didn't.
Rest in peace to all the fucking people that like.
Yeah. Even in prison, got a bunch of homies in prison, got a bunch of homies locked up, got a bunch of homies that have died. Just a lot of people didn't get to this point.
No, straight up.
You know, we are really lucky in that sense because we've lost so many friends that didn't get to see 30 years old.
Yeah.
You know, didn't get to see this or that, and it's like we're still here.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's crazy to see the inspiration that comes from those stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like me getting into DJing because of Alex, my homie that's not any longer with us. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to open up for people that we looked up to as kids.
For sure.
Like I feel like it's it gives you that extra push to like pay homage to the people that like aren't with us in the physical no more. You know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's dope, man. Like I know for you, Insane Clown Posse was like one of your favorite groups growing up, and now you get to work with some of the artists that within the Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, I definitely met like a bunch of those dudes. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a cool part of the history, and
to be a part of it.
Yeah, to be a part of the history.
I mean, you got songs that you've done scratching on, and for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, it's the catalog's starting to catch up. Yeah. I recently just started a fucking Spotify and
there you go.
And started putting all the tracks and the cuts on and shit in there.
That's crazy.
And it's just crazy to see that there's like actually like, you know, pieces of work to hold on to, and like, and just how we're talking about keeping the culture alive.
You know what's cool to me is there was a point in time where you were that kid that was like researching DJs and looking at all these different DJs and listening to their shit. And now there's some kid somewhere that probably has you in his search bar.
Bro, I get messages all the time, and that's like part of what even keeps me going, because there's, I mean, you know, as we go through the trials and tribulations of life, we gain and lose inspiration, and it comes and goes. One thing I gotta say, it's always like helped me stay on it, is the fact that kids will hit me up and they'll be like, yo, that shit's mad inspiring, or like, how could I learn how to do that shit, or like, yo, like that shit's dope as fuck that you do that. Like,
when you feel like what you're doing is touching someone, you know, and giving them a motivation to go be better, be bigger.
Yeah, and I'm just like, straight up, bro, like nothing to it but to do it. Like, if you have a fucking passion for something in life, no matter what it is, you know what I'm saying? Like,
go after it.
Go after that shit. Like, there's a voice speaking to you for a reason. Like,
telling you to do that.
You never know. The doors will open, and that's what this whole shit's taught me, is, bro, that I've met some of the dopest people, developed some of the dopest relationships, and left like a little imprint, you know, in the history of
New Mexico music. New Mexico DJing, you know, and the DJs are it's a close knit community, you know. There's of you guys that really take it serious. There's maybe 10 of you max, maybe. You know, you got
there's like a dirty dozen that I say,
you know what I mean. But you guys all know each other. You guys all DJ on the same night. You know what I mean.
We've all crossed paths at one point or another. You know what I'm saying?
I was just having this conversation with my homie on the last show, Vile from Tio. About, you know, the respect that the artists have for each other, and I think the DJs is kind of the same thing. Like, nobody out here is really beefing or like trying to, you know, you guys are all playing your clubs and doing your shows and, you know, trying to blow it up and take it to the next level. And that's the cool thing about Albuquerque, is we have so much pride as Buqueños or whatever, that we all just want to see Albuquerque blow up.
Straight up, bro. That's what it really boils down to at this point, yo. Like, we want to fucking put Albuquerque on the map for
we want to be the one that does it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think everybody has that inside of them. Like, I want to be the one to bring it home.
Because we see it every day. We see this shit. Like, it's culture, bro. It's like, and we see the shit, like, and we want the world to be able to experience what we get to
and what we're
see every day.
Exactly.
And what we live through, everything.
It's wild. It's a wild scene. It's a wild life. It's a wild situation. You know, even just every day in the streets of Albuquerque, you drive down the street, you're going to see some wild ass shit. Like,
bro, I went to Chipotle tonight, and the lady that gave me my food was like, "Hey, I want to hook you up with this fucking bag of whatever, this extra shit, because I'm the one that saved your cat." And I was like, in case anybody don't know, my cat got stolen and thrown out of a van at a high speed and fucking survived that shit. And some random person on Facebook reunited me with my cat and
brought him home
with the help of the city. And but I met this lady tonight.
Damn, the lady that saved your cat. She was like,
she was like, I saved your cat.
You're such a, you know, people see you and they're not gonna mistake
you.
You
know,
like, you got the tattoos, everything.
I'm like, I should be buying you food.
I saved your cat. That's fucking crazy, bro. All right, man. So, quick question.
Yeah.
Who was the first local artist, rapper that you heard out here?
Damn, that's a fucking good question, bro.
That's my new one for everybody that comes on the show. We're all local. We're all Albuquerque. We all grew up here, and I'm curious to see, you know, who these people first heard, or who, you know, that, and also who was, you know, someone from here that made you want to do music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to say the very first people that I ever experienced any sort of like Yeah, like hip hop.
Yeah.
Was when I met Alex and Chris in high school, and they fucking took me to the street they grew up on, off San Mateo somewhere, and their homie from down the street, his name was Güero Loc.
Güero Loco.
Güero Loc, and he had a fucking record label called Closed Casket. And he was fucking plugged up with everybody. He was plugged up with Q. That's how I met Q.
Oh, okay.
And Q was recording, like, who was he recording at the time? He was recording fucking
a lot of
everybody.
Son
like,
Sam and there was a lot of people that were going to Q.
So simultaneously as all that happening, like I was hearing everything they were making, and then you know, like obviously like growing up, like homies would call in, like you guys.
Oh
man.
yeah, for
so
sure.
it was like
dirt. Yeah.
So I would say like Closed Casket, Fat Fish, and then like everything started just like filling in after that, you know.
Yeah.
Then I seen that it was like a whole fucking
started taking its own shape, and you started seeing all other people doing it, and there's actually people out here taking it serious, and
totally, it was fucking crazy, bro. And then
in the DJ, you know, who was the first DJ out here where you were like,
damn it,
kind of inspired by, as far as a local guy where you went to?
I remember fucking going to hip hop night at Bert's
Tiki
and
Lounge.
My dog Wakes Up, R.I.P. was running that shit that night.
Rest in peace, big dog.
He was fucking there running hip hop night, and he had Flow Fader over there.
Okay.
And Flow Fader was fucking.
Shout out Flow Fader, man.
OG.
Fucking with Flow Fader a long time.
You know, like you gotta give respect where respect's due, and
long time.
Flow Fader's one of those homies that just like, he's true to the art form, and he was so inspiring at the very beginning, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, he was rocking on turntables. He was the first one to do like video DJing shit over there on like a little projector and shit. I was like,
setup.
He was killing it, bro. I was just in, him, the homie Scientific. I don't remember Scientific.
DJ Scientific, yeah, that's actually rest in peace to my boy Zach Marchiando, who just passed away.
Shit,
that was him and Scientific are cousins.
Oh damn!
So I known Cy for a long time when he was out in Vegas.
And Shakedown and fucking
Shakedown, man, shout out Shakedown.
Bro, Speed fucking
One.
Bro, like seeing him do his shit for what was it called, Cultura Fuerte?
Uber wants in.
Is that what their group was named?
Yeah,
Uber.
Uber wants in the interview. Go, get out.
Yeah, man, like all those homies from the early days, just like, and to this day, they're still doing their thing, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what.
No, they're you know, before the pandemic, Shakedown and everybody was still doing shows. They were still doing nights at Canvas.
Yeah, no, for sure. They're killing that shit. They're getting it popping.
Yeah. No, that's dope, man. But they have been doing it a long time.
No, for sure.
Like Shakedown, he's been DJ and Scientific. I mean, they were doing this shit 10, 15 years ago.
Bro.
Definitely. I mean, you know, it being part of, you know, like such a big part of hip hop, we need those guys too. You know, we need the DJs.
Absolutely.
We need on many different levels. If it's putting out the tapes, or if it's the scratching, or it's the parties, or whatever. Like,
adding the energy to it, that flavor. You know,
yeah.
Like bringing you shit that maybe you might not have heard before.
For sure.
Like, oh, that's.
I know every time I hear you DJ, I hear some shit I've never heard before.
For sure.
Your range is very far and wide, and that's dope. Because I hear some shit, I'm like, oh, I never heard that before. What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And that's what my whole thing is with DJing, is I love that part of it. I love that part of being able to like share what I'm into, what I feel. With
for sure. What
audience.
you like and song. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Being able to like tell your story.
Everybody already knows, like, I don't play no normal shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's different for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody you want to work with in Albuquerque? Anybody you're like?
Oh, who haven't? That's one thing I've been very blessed with, is like being able to connect with the whole scene out here, like so openly. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is very like everybody's eager to make dope music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, you, bro. I never hopped on a Boozle track with a cut. You know, we gotta fucking make that happen. That and like
it's overdue.
You know, it's a long overdue, just like this interview now.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know what? I think I'm gonna put together like another Albuquerque Nights. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, we gotta talk about that. Yeah.
You know, we need a new one.
And that's what
with these new and
exactly. We already like that's the whole thing, is that during this whole shit right now, and the things that we've seen like in the fucking scene,
For
like
sure.
it's important to connect these dots that need to be connected, because the cats that have come up are very inspired by the old school.
For sure.
They want to know what happened back then.
Yeah.
They want to know the stories. They want to fucking be able to feel part of you know, the history.
I did an interview with Shot by 2.0, Shot by 2.0, and he was asking me questions about like raw music and you know, different stuff from 10, 15 years ago. It's crazy because there was shit going on. You know what I mean? We were in the studio, we were at shows, and you know, all kinds of shit. Like, you know, I remember Young Buck and Lil Scrappy. I don't know if you remember that show. That show was crazy, and the fight broke out, and I think somebody got like stabbed or shot or something.
That's some more
I remember Smurf. Shout out to Smurf. Smurf was in his wheelchair, bro, and I just remember like Smurf was going to like go smash on somebody or something, and he flew past me like. You know, and I was like, oh shit, she was getting crazy. Like the whole thing was clearing out. It's just wild Albuquerque shit.
Yeah, wild Albuquerque shit. Like there's so many of those stories, and that's what I love about it, bro. And just like being able to connect. Yo, shout out to the homie you did the interview with, the one that does the Dixie Diaries.
Frank.
Frank, man. Like he's the reason.
Big shout out to Frank.
Big shout out to Frank. He's able to portray something so dope. Culturally, like how we were talking about, like in an artistic way, and it's really dope to see that, because he's the one that put me on to Blanca Solo.
Oh, okay.
Through that video is how I found Blanca, and I heard the music, and I fell in love with it, and the rest is history. So like, it's all about connecting those dots, and like shit that might not have otherwise come to fruition for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of homies like that are able to like show,
capture it,
capture it, bro, like
and show it to the world, and that's what I think like we all have this ability to do, and that's what Frank's doing with his photography. That's what you're doing with your DJing. You know, that's what we got these guys doing with music,
the dealers,
you know, the dealers, the clothing,
culture,
exactly.
Like,
it's just trying to capture what we see and put it out there and give it to the people. Fuck, man. All right, brother.
Fuck yeah. Good shit.
Anybody want to shout out Albuquerque shit? You already know.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Everybody doing their thing. Fucking grinding every day and trying to, you know, better themselves. Like, all of them. Everybody. Like,
we need more of
so
that.
Many people, yo.
We need more people trying to do the right thing and make the right decisions, because we know a lot of people that are doing the wrong things and making the wrong
stuff. No, for sure. If you
losing
can,
a lot of friends and just.
Yeah, no, like that's the whole shit, bro. Is that like I feel like if you can just let people know that they are seen and heard, and show that respect on a day-to-day basis through individual interactions, that's how you change the world.
For sure, absolutely. Well, word up. I appreciate you coming through. Big Dog, keep doing it. And shout out dealersclothing.com. Hit us up. Check it out. DJ Stigmata.